Hey guys, welcome to blustery, cold, and rainy day in Austin. I took Jax for a walk about an hour ago and it was hot and humid, but a cold front came in and it turned blustery and chilly. Thinking about making beans and cornbread tonight for dinner or something. Okay, let's look at ULTY first. Well, here's the ULTY verse. So what do you know? Let's just start with the Well, actually, no, we aren't concerned. I'm starting all these morning updates, which is let's see what the market's doing. Here's the SPX. So it's bouncing. Now it's above the Trump gap, but it's underneath whatever this gap was. What caused us to gap down between Thursday and Friday? I forget what it was. But anyway, we're stuck between two gaps right now. So we'll see which one wins. They both aren't going to hold. One of them's a real gap, and one of them's probably it's not at all what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, and this gap down here, it isn't color coded, but it's fine. You guys know where it is. It's gigantic. That's the gap from the night after the election. So as long as this holds, this means Wall Street's still buying the positive after election. We're still in the honeymoon phase of the after election period. So we'll see what happens. But right now we're stuck between two gaps. We'll see if this gap was correct. So we go in, and if it is, we'll know because we'll go into it and then we'll sell off. Boom, sell off down, make new lows. Or if this gap was correct, because we'll probably sell right through it. So who knows? All right. As far as my volatility system, it's kind of mixed signals also, but it is still bearish, still short-term bearish. And long term, it's still bearish, still double bearish. I'll have that on long term's getting ready to turn. It looks like, or who knows? On long term, we may be getting ready to switch back to bullish. But basically, this has just been whipsawing around. Okay, so now on ULTY. Here's the ULTY verse. All right, guys, it's kind of chilly today. All right, we have DJT's a little disappointing this morning. I see Hims is happy to see us this morning, up 11.64%. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Nice job, Hims. That's impressive. I'll look at SMR, the nuclear, or however you say that word, nuclear. I say it like George Bush sometimes. Anyway, SMR, it's new scale power, and they do nuclear, small modular nuclear reactors, whatever that is. Anyway, they're a hot item lately. MBLY has no idea what that does. Do you guys have any idea? MBLY? And Jay has on a call spread. He doesn't have stock. I don't know. All the other ones he has on stock and he has callers. This one, he just has on a call spread, no stock, which a call spread, no stock is the same thing as a caller with stock. So it's synthetic equivalent. I just wonder why he doesn't also have the stock on this one. We'll ask him when he's on the show. Mobileye price target raised to $15. Raised your average from hold. I mean, obviously everyone's in love with it. Kramer talked about it, I guess. I don't want to click on this. Price does probably clickbait. Let's look at Mobileye really quick. Here's a 5-year chart. See what it's been doing. Okay. Here's a 6-month chart. Looks like Jay's probably thinking maybe that it bottomed out and is turning around. Cup and handle, whatever. So I could see this being worth a try. Some analysts raised it to, raised it. Okay. And I bet it also has really high volatility, which is the main thing Jay's looking for ULTY. So once again, we can ask him on when he's on next, which is going to be this week, which I'm really excited about. All right. We also have Tesla looking great today, up 6.71%, as is Upstart, as is VST. Let's look at that one. I think this one's called Vestra or something. Vistra Energy. Let's see what Jay has going on this one. Now, look at this one breaking out to new highs over the short term. Let's check out a 5-year chart. I mean, you got to love a stock like this, right? This momentum play. So this is kind of the opposite of a Mobileye. But I bet the one thing they have in common is they both have really high implied volatility. See, implied volatility right here, it's 57%. So that means they could pay a 57% dividend if you sold covered calls in this stock. Other things being equal, maybe somewhere in that area. You know, that's what a trader might be able to aim for. Jay tries to aim for the IV, and he usually gets fairly close. Okay, so that's Vistra Energy. So that's interesting. What else do we have going on this morning? Vistra. I mean, everything's up. I mean, CrowdStrike, MongoDB. I like that one. I've had good luck with that one before. Soxel, that's leveraged semiconductors. That's paying off. I have MDB in here twice, so I need to go back and look at that. And then the average, what in the hell? I wonder how that happened. Let's go look at the ULTY grid. So the ULTY grid, oh, I know how that happened. I think I know how that happened. No. Okay. Let's go back to the chart. Okay. It looks about the same. All right. So ULTY as a stock, as an ETF, is up 119 bips. But all of their underlines together are up 345 bips, about twice as much. All right. Yeah, Soxel is killing today. Soxel's up 4%. They have on a collar. They have on a collar on virtually all of these, with the exception of Disney. We're going to talk about the Disney trade, but we're going to put that at the end. The in the weed options content goes at the end. Disney and MBLY is just a call spread, but a call spread is synthetically a collar. So if you factor that in, they're in collars on everything except for Disney. Disney, he is in a loaded dice trade or a risk reversal, and I don't even believe he has stock. Let's go look really quick at the ULTY grid. I'll make some notes in the ULTY grid. Yeah, on the Disney position, he took half the position off. Tom was asking me. Tom's a frequent commenter to the show, and he was asking me, you know, why do you think Jay made these trades go out another week? Well, why didn't he just do them till Friday? And it's kind of the same thing I said on my option shows last week. So I showed you guys how to do a Disney trade, and just like he did it. But I modified it so a retail account could do it safely. But then I showed you how to do it with the expiration this week and expiration next week. Well, there's advantages and disadvantages to each. You make a little bit more money quicker if you took the sooner expiration, but you stand a chance to have a lot more further upside if you go out another week. And I'm going to show you guys in the option segment what I mean, because that's the way Jay constructed the trade. So, but he had on 1,000 lots of this trade, and now he only has on 500. So he took off 500 at a profit on Friday. So that's a great trade. Here's Jay's trade. And Anyway, Jay has on, I mean, multiple. That's all of the ULTY positions at once. But but on this four-way, there's 1,000 lot four-way out here where he's long the 107, short the 111, and then he's long 94, short 94, long 90, selling at put spread to buy a call spread. He did that 1,000 times, or he had that trade on 1,000 times. Well, now he only has it on 500 times. I should have modified this before I started the show. I didn't think about that. Well, in any event, that's fine though, because if you look here, here's the profit and loss graph. But here's the profit and loss graph, roughly what he was looking at Friday at the close. So, this thing was worth, he was $500,000 up. So by taking half the position off, he realized some of that. And, but look at this. His upside isn't capped. I mean, for a while, for a long while, let's do this. Let's set a target of 150. What is going on? Okay, well, I don't know. I guess because he has stock, his upside's not capped. Just the option overlay part is capped at 111, but the stock keeps going up. So that's what's confusing me. Let's go back to the Ultiverse. All right, so I'm going to open the trades up. I'm going to show you guys the position. So Disney, I want to confirm this is right. Oh, no, it's wrong on my chart. Gosh darn it. Okay, well, that's good. That makes sense. He doesn't have the shares anymore. We'll just get rid of those. And we'll get rid of this. And we'll get rid of this. Well, he is in a situation where he can't lose. I mean, once he sold those shares at a profit. But that wasn't what I was trying to show. I was trying to show how the four-way spread alone works. And you guys are familiar with this pattern. So when he put it on, Disney stock was around, I don't know, let's go see. He started messing with this before this happened. So it was around 100, 102, something like that. So it's actually right here. So anyway, from right here, Disney could have dropped this far, whatever that is, 12% to 18%. It could have dropped 6% before it would have cost him money. But on the other hand, if Disney's would have hit earnings and gone up after it goes up about 6%, he makes extra money. Well, that's where he's at right now with this overlay. Okay, I'm sorry I had the shares on there. But so this is his profit and loss graph now. So now he just has on a half size, but that's what he's playing for now. So this trade is maxed out. At expiration, it's maxed out. Now let's look where it is now. And even right now, it's maxed out. He's up 651. If the stock keeps going up another 2%, he can make another 9,000. I promise you, he's going to roll this. He'll take the rest of it off the table and maybe just close the damn trade is what I would do if I was him. He's nailed this one. But I bet this will be the last day for the Disney trade. Sorry, I didn't have that prepared prior to coming on here. Okay, so that's all right. So Soxel, okay, average, okay. All right, we're only catching about a third of the upside of the average, but they're doing with a lot less volatility. I really like, there's a lot of big performers today. A lot of big performers. Okay, let's look at just the regular buffer report. We'll just do the index stocks. Okay, so in SPY land, look at T-SPY, killing it. Great job, T-SPY. But it was down more than the ones were last week. I think it has wide bid ask or there's something else maybe going on with it too. It's trading at a discount or at a premium. It's trading different than it's supposed to be relative to where it's now really is. So it may not be giving us true readings here. SPY eye looks really good. That shouldn't surprise us. WDTE only catching a little more than half the upside. That shouldn't surprise us either. That's about par because it's fully capped. Guess what's not fully capped, though? SPY T is catching more like 80% of the upside. Now, it doesn't always work like that, but generally you catch more of the upside in the funds that aren't fully capped. Or that use longer expirations, and that's what SPY does. The ones that use monthly expirations also have a way of catching extra upside as well. All right, XDTE not doing too well today. Let's look at a chart of the SPX. XDTE is sensitive to gaps down, but we didn't have a gap down this morning. The SPX closed here. It closed and opened about the same place, and then it jumped right up in the first few minutes. So I don't see why XDT is not doing better. Some days it does poorly on days with like a big down gap. All right, SVOL's doing well, and that's probably indicative of volatility selling off. So, if SVOL's doing well, ZIVB is doing really well. ZIVB is like SVOL on steroids. It's like SVOL with a little bit more risk, and sure enough, look at ZIVB just absolutely killing it. What's killing it more than ZIVB is KQQQ. Nice job, Howard. Howard over at Curve killing it. FEPI having a really nice day, catching a lot of upside. Now, AIPI lagging. QQY catching about 3/4 of the upside. That's good. Although look at QQT. QQT must have taken their hymns this morning. That's impressive. YieldMax is the one that really took their hymns this morning. Look at YieldMax. YieldMax also impressive. But Alty's looking good when you compare it to a normal benchmark of an index. It just doesn't look good compared to its own benchmark because it picks really high-flying stocks. But to even be catching a portion of the upside of the stuff it picks is awesome. And that's what it's doing. It's catching about 1/3 of the upside of a universe of stocks that are up 3 or 4% every day. If you can make 1% every day, that's 200% a year. In an ETF like Alty, the way that would work is they pay about 100%. That's about what they've been paying. So you get about 100% of the return through the divvy. But then to make 200% a year, you would also need the NAV of the fund to double. I mean, so in a really good year, that could happen. It's probably not going to happen a whole lot, but it, it's possible. It's what you could shoot for. It's what you could shoot for. But in years when the market's firm, you at least don't get as fast a depletion because the equity and the appreciation in the market offsets some of the depletion, right? That's the way it works. All right. So let's see what else we have here. Look at Clip doing well. China's doing well. USOY killing it. All right. So now let's look at the single stock buffer report. I mean, I think this one looks like a buy. I think SMCI ought to be this week's bone up on options. Just because look at this. But I don't know. To me, it looks like this is a place a guy could put some kind of strategy on with a buffer. Something like I usually show you guys, some kind of risk reversal that probably has buffer down here to like 15 or something. So all we need is the stock to at least stabilize. We'll get to keep the credit or hopefully turn around and go up from here. It just can't go down and make a new low. That's the kind of trade I like to do all the time. And that's going to be on today's bone up on options. So be looking for that. All right, what else do we have in single stock land? MSTY and MSTR are killing it. That's, I mean, 7% up on a covered call fund. Well, hell, this one's up freaking 10% on a covered call fund. You know, well, these aren't really covered call funds. They aren't covered call funds. These are covered call spread funds. So that's why you get results like that. It's why you get, well, look at YieldMax outperforming. We saw that one on the other chart, ULTY, YMAG. Look at OART, though, up twice as much as this benchmark. Look at Sky, up 90% of its benchmark. That'll work too. Give me 90% every time of the benchmark, plus these kind of dividends these things pay, and then we're talking free money. At that point, that's basically free money, but that's why you don't really get 90% lots of the times in these, unfortunately. But now that was before the day of the covered call spread. So I think we're going to start seeing it more frequently now. There's really nothing bad to talk about. Disney pulling back a little bit, NVDY pulling back a little bit. All right, we've already looked at the index buffer and talked about that. We've already talked about the multiverse. We'll check back in on that. It's, you know, we're only catching about a third of the upside of our actual constituent stocks, but we're taking a lot less risk than just buying shares of the stocks. But I have to compare it to something. So this is if we just bought equal percentage amounts of shares of the stocks, shares of the stocks, equity. All right, so we needed this rain here in Austin. It's been dry and the grass is brown, and but I planted some seed next door. Anyway, I've been watering the neighbor's yard every day, and it's turning green. But this is really gonna this is gonna make it beautiful. We have like a second spring sometimes here in the fall in Texas, in South Texas. I mean, we might get a cold snap for a week or something, and then we'll have a warm snap, and we'll almost have a second spring. I mean, it happens all the time. Or maybe like an Indian summer would be a better way to think of it, a late fall. But I love Texas. I love Texas for sure. All right, so let's look at this. I want to show you two other things. Barchart.com is a good place to look for lots of things, but just their front page of options. We're going to start checking this out. All right, so it just kind of gives you an options market overview, and it tells you if there's any that are super volatile. And here's unusual option activity. So these are lots of times also ones that Jay might be looking at, or ones that we could look at. Sometimes if something pops up with unusual activity, maybe there's a rumor all of a sudden it's in play or something. And it's normally not liquid enough to do a 3 or 4 leg, spread in, but it might be nowadays. Anyway, so I look at this sometimes to get ideas. But then also, now these are the most active options. These are the most active options on the street. So what this tells you, if you want to trade any of these, you should be able to get in and out of these, like with the 2-penny spread, the bid ask. I mean, these should have super tight spreads, and they do have tons of volume, tons of open interest. Now, this right here is another place that Jay might look. These are just stocks with calls that are, way overpriced. Here's SMCI. Look at this. If for January, it has a 120 strike option for 10 cents, which is $10. So that's almost like free. You get to keep that $10 unless SMCI goes past 120 by January 17th here in a few months. But I mean, it could damn sure happen. And the bad news is your risk is unlimited on the upside. But anyway. All right, but that's why it would make a decent covered call idea. But I wouldn't like it. It doesn't return enough. I'm not going to, bother for 10 cents. Anyway, but still, this is a good place to look at stuff. So we'll start looking at that every day too, and especially on the bone up on options, we'll do that. Now, this is where else Jay is going to get his ULTY trades from. I believe he gets them from the volatile stocks. He doesn't use bar chart, but he uses screeners to find the ones the ones that are in play. Now, these are the earning stocks for this week. He already has a couple of these in the portfolio, and he's had them for a while. He's had Zim's in the portfolio. He has a collar on Zim's. I would be surprised if he didn't put something on Target. I bet you he takes that Disney. I bet you in today's report, Disney's done, Target's in. That's what I bet. Or maybe Walmart. Or maybe Lowe's. These are great ones to play earnings stocks in. I love playing earnings. These are liquid, good stocks to play earnings in. But then also we have NVIDIA, Snowflake, and Palo Alto Networks, in the tech names coming up. Now that's after the close on Wednesday. Then after the close on Thursday, we have Intuit, NetApp. Earnings week is kind of slowing down. Baidu, sometimes it used to have good liquidity, but we'll look at all of these on Boat Up with Options and see if there's any opportunities in there for us to make money also. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all for being here. Let's go back and check the SPX one more time before I go. Make sure it's not crashing. And it's not crashing, but I look at it on the 30-minute time frame, and the 30-minute time frame is now doing what's called one time framing down. It was one time framing up, which means in the time frame you're watching, it's making a higher high or a higher low, one of the two. And it's been doing that. And so it was one time framing up for a while this morning, but then it hit this top line at the Bollinger Band, kind of stalled out, and now it's going the other way. Now it could be nothing, but we'll watch it here. It's kind of what I expect, but maybe we just chop here. Maybe we chop between the two lines for a while, and there's probably some numbers coming out later this week. That's a good thing about this earnings. It also tells you what numbers are coming out. We have existing home sales coming out Thursday, but other than that, we don't have really an economic calendar. Some weeks we have, two or three, we have two or three things going on. Oh, hey, the deers are here. Jax isn't going to chase it, though. Jax he's right here laying in the. You guys see those guys? Hey there, what's up there? What's up there, buddy? What's up there, buddy? Okay. All right. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for being here this morning. I'm still trying to figure out how to do this update. It'll get smoother, I promise. But basically, I want to show ULTY, YieldMax, and all of the buffer report, and just talk kind of generally every morning about what's going on, and maybe look at what stocks have earnings. Kind of what we did. See what's going on. And if there's any new stocks in ULTY, like MDB or MBLY, we checked it out this morning. We'll probably do that as well too. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all for being here. Have a good day. See ya.